Hey fellas, and welcome back to With a Y. Today's topic is something that I am exceedingly qualified to talk about. Another viral art challenge. One of those bought and paid for Twitter gimmick accounts, no context memes, recently shared this screenshot of a Reddit post where it was like, r/animation, how do you guys able to draw at different angles? And it's just this admittedly scuffed drawing of the anime character Frieren just looking up while the camera is below her looking at her jawline. When I say admittedly scuffed, I am not trying to talk down on the art because I struggle to draw a stick figure looking directly at the camera, and I'm a robot. Isn't the whole thing that like AI is supposed to be good at drawing and is going to replace artists? I haven't seen the trickle down effects of that progress yet. So anybody able to make an honest effort at drawing something with this context, I appreciate. This went on to get like 77 million views on Twitter alone. It's been less than a week since it got posted as of me recording this. And of course, that means it got big enough to have like a crypto coin based off of it. And the guy who reposted it had to clarify, do not buy any crypto under this shit. You will get your pockets rinsed. With all the attention this thing was getting, it just had a bunch of artists going, yeah, this is literally how I am on a regular basis. And I feel like you wouldn't have this issue if you just stopped trying. It drew comparisons of similar images that went like as fucking viral in the past for this. Strongest anime art in history versus strongest anime art of today. And hey, they even got to swap poses. What it really led to was a bunch of people giving it an actual shot at drawing this angle. Like, believe it or not, the guy who put this on r/animation, Big Black Banana Man. Sure, dude. He is not the original artist of this piece. He was reposting it to what I can only imagine was some attempt at mocking it, but instead it just ended up inspiring a bunch of artists to give this angle a shot. It was a call to action to try and challenge yourself to do something you haven't tried before. And you had people like sharing their process of actually how they did it, even if like it's completely indecipherable to me, like how I would figure out their process from, I don't know, drawing a fucking cube around the head. Like, you drew this shit 5 different times and I'm not any closer to understanding how you managed to picture that in your head and turn it into something physical on a 2D plane. I hate seeing people who are better at something than me. I don't care if they're older or younger, if they're a natural born talent, or if they put thousands of hours into honing their skill. I don't fucking care. How dare you be capable of something that I'm not? It's like genuinely a personal attack on me and you know it. Even though many artists have jumped on the Frieren face angle trend, I haven't seen people explain how to actually draw this angle. So I've written a few things to note. Tips for 3/4 bottom up angle. Is that the official name? Most importantly, type it into ChatGPT and have it generate the image for you. Use words like anime style and Studio Ghibli. I'm kidding, that's just like one of my favorite gags, is AI art guy who is actually really reverent of all the artists who came before him. I could never draw in my normal life, so thank you to all the artists who let us scrape their stuff to make us chasing our dreams possible. I think it was Grolix who said that first, actually. You had Toji Feet Lover going, close enough. He just gave Frieren the Giga Chad jawline, like, fucking sure, dude. While a lot of people were using this as an excuse to explicitly draw Frieren, like recreate the original drawing in their own style, some people were taking it as an opportunity to put their own characters on top of the stuff. Mervius over here accurately described the original drawing as already a masterpiece. Like, look at this fucking thing. You try to recreate that one-to-one. This is a work so singular in its quality, it's like hard to overstate. And then they like drew dudes with gigantic nostrils and snot leaking out of them. I don't actually know what this is from, but I approve of it. And you had a lot of people standing in solidarity that like, even with experience, this is like a hard angle to draw no matter how much time you've spent honing your craft. Even with 20 plus years of experience in drawing, I feel it's very challenging anyways. And then they drop some knowledge on the tips and tricks they use to create their rendition of this. You had people sharing resources like referenceangle.com where you can like literally apparently model a 3D head kind of like in the position that you want reference for, and you can get like physical references of that. In a time where searching on Google Images for references of real world objects will end up getting you AI generated shit, resources like this have to be indispensable to creatives. The fact that trends like this still exist and can have people trying their best to like challenge themselves creatively even in the face of AI generated sludge, it is a bit encouraging to see. And you had people taking creative solutions around. The main thing that looks awkward on this original drawing, and I imagine a lot of people would struggle with, is like how to angle the jawline here. Like you do not see the bottom side of a chin much in day-to-day life, so imagining how it would look from an angle requires like a little bit of intuition, right? This person's solution was to completely flatten a person's head so that these angles simply no longer exist. You just need to know your anatomy so you can draw the inside of a person's skull cleanly. You had some filthy fucking cheaters over here. Did I draw it correct? Look at me in my cosplay. Fuck you, you're not even a real elf. Ooh, instead of drawing the reference picture, I just took a picture of myself from a little below my head. head. Ooh, fuck you. You had a guy who decided to take off all of Frierin's skin, which I'm gonna be honest, I think makes the angle even harder to do. Either way, to make this work, you're gonna need to learn anatomy in some sense. Like, you either need to learn where all the individual organs are inside a person's head, or you need to learn what the outside of the human body looks like at all its different angles of perception. Now, the original artist actually came out to say, like, just how shocked they were that this had reached so many people. And this topic came with its Deltarune reference built in. The artist has fucking taste. They have a Jevil profile picture. Space Dev just knows what the fuck is up, man. Like, I didn't even need to shoehorn it in. They gave us fucking DLC of the original image too. Thank you, :3, they say. Drew this guy a week before, and we have like 2 more pieces of art, dude. This is fucking awesome. So my drawing blew up. It even became a meme. Thank you so much for that. I will now take this and turn it into a crypto coin. You should sell the original as an NFT, Space Dev 1. I'm told that this is the way to profit off of digital art. Thank you for sending me countless tips on how to draw faces / perspective. Thank you very much for that too. I'm happy it inspired a lot of you to draw this apparently hard angle. Me, Space Dev 1, on the other hand, not a challenge at all. It was like a walk in the park for a guy like me, Space Dev 1. I'm glad you challenged yourself to do better than I did. I'm absolutely flattered this became Mallory Rodak's profile picture. Thanks for that. This is like a checklist of thank yous they're giving out. What a grateful individual. I just shared it because it looks silly, but oh my god, the publicity, the tips. I didn't even know that drawing would touch that many people's soul. Thank you. I don't know what else to say except I included a crappy Stark drawing to complete the family. Thank you. I don't know if this sounds dramatic. I just want to show I appreciate all of your support. You see, if you had paid Elon $12, you could have fit this all into an extended Twitter post. Instead, you had to give us a notepad screenshot announcement. This looks like a VTuber or esports org announcing they have to let go like their entire roster. But it's distinctly more positive than all of those. Fuck KFC for trying to get in on this. At least they drew it authentically, I suppose. Now, the Mallory Rodak in question is actually the English voice actor for Frieren, and who has just been all over this shit since it started. She made her profile picture the aforementioned drawing, which, you know, I think is genuinely really cool. Like, no matter who you are, for whatever reason, if your art became the profile picture of the person who played the character you drew it of, you'd be very, like, psyched about it, I believe. And they were, like, being really supportive of the community, just shouting out the original artist saying, check them out! Thank you for following me. Yesterday was an amazing day with all the Frieren art on my timeline. I can't wait for season 2 next year. Yeah, this probably all came around at a really good time for the marketing of the show. Not that it really needed it, because it's, like, doing really well from what I understand. I know of Frieren, even though I've never watched it. Here's an edit from the show of just fucking nuzzling the orb of 3/4 diagonal angle Frieren drawing. And they were retweeting shit like this too, where this Fuji fellow was just kind of flexing that they could draw the head at every single angle and do it in such a way that you could animate all their frames into something really, really fucking terrifying. I don't like looking at this more than the next guy. Yeah, basically that, if I had to put it into a few words. Like, it's utterly impressive, my guy, don't get me wrong, but please stay the fuck away from me forever if you could help it. You will never get this kind of experience with AI, man. This is why art and the process of learning is so beautiful and rewarding. I can definitely understand that sentiment, but I like my dopamine handed to me on a platter and instantly and over and over and over again. I don't really like waiting for delayed rewards. I like to be told that I'm a special boy and get everything that I want. I was dunking on that cosplay earlier for pretending that they had drawn something from the angle everybody had in question, when really they were just a dirty cheater. But like, when I pull the jokes back, I think it's cool that people are interpreting this in their own mediums. Like, the 2D ones are obviously the thrust of the whole thing. Like, you had people drawing their version of it full body and using pixel art, like Silly Potato over here. The official Frieren page decided to get on this shit too and just broke the neck of a plushie. Gotta be cruel and unusual punishment, man. There's no way that's ethical. But it was cool to see people doing fucking latte art of the whole trend. Like, I want to get me Otis on one of these things at some point because it just looks fucking cool. But like, I have no idea how you even begin to translate this sort of thing onto coffee art. Maybe you can digitize it, I have no idea. But you had even like 3D modelers showing it at different angles, which again, with the cosplayer, I think low-key kind of cheating, but the difficulty here is for 3D modeling, you actually have to do a lot of forced perspective. They tried to make their 3D model look like the 2D drawing, and specifically from this angle. To do that, this is what the 3D model looks like from the front. Like, the perspective work that it takes to do something like this and turn it into this, like, that is also impressive in its own right. So shout out to Kyoko Works for that thing. It just gives you a peer into creative processes you're never going to be smart enough to come across on your own. And also it just makes for very funny looking images. That's all I got. Be sure to follow me on Twitter at @withAY. That kwytebox email is in the description. Do you guys want to send me any video topics? Anyways, piss off.